Hello students. In this lecture, we are going to study anatomical features of frog. In that first, digestive system. Different system now we are going to study. So in that first, that's the digestive system. When we use the term digestive system, meaning alimentary canal plus accessory digestive glands. Alimentary canal plus accessory digestive glands. Together, it forms digestive system. Alimentary canal, in that we learn the entire pathway from the intake of food to the evasion of food. First, mouth. Mouth leads to buccal cavity. Buccal cavity leads to pharynx. Pharynx leads to esophagus. Esophagus leads to stomach. Stomach leads to intestine. Intestine, in that small intestine, large intestine, and at the end, it leads to cloaca, and that open outside through a aperture that we call cloacal aperture. This is the entire pathway for the alimentary canal of frog. Starts from the mouth, ends with the cloacal aperture. Mouth to buccal cavity to pharynx to esophagus to stomach to intestine to cloaca, and at the end cloacal aperture through which the fecal matter, undigested food materials released outside. Next, mouth here, position of mouth when we see, suppose this is the head region of the frog. Over here, upper jaw and the lower jaw. So the mouth position, we can say that it's a terminal position, not ventral, not dorsal, exactly the terminal position of the mouth, which opens into buccal cavity. Buccal cavity and the pharynx, between these two, actually no demarcation point is there. This much portion for buccal cavity, this much portion for the pharynx. So together it forms a one chamber that we call buccopharyngeal chamber. So in frog, buccal cavity and pharynx, due to no demarcation point, we consider it's a one chamber and that we call the buccopharyngeal chamber. Then it leads to esophagus, stomach, intestine, cloaca, and cloacal aperture. Esophagus. Esophagus is a short, narrow tubular muscular structure that opens into stomach. Now, in your textbook, very briefly, this digestive system of frog is given. But we will go little bit in, we'll learn this system, okay, with detail. Stomach part, stomach has two parts. One part, see here, the stomach is there. The broad anterior part of the stomach that we call cardiac stomach. That we call cardiac stomach. And the narrow region, this one, posterior part of the stomach, we call pyloric stomach. Now, here consider that's a esophagus is there. Esophagus opens into stomach. Stomach has two parts, anterior cardiac, posterior pyloric. Anterior cardiac name given why? Because here the heart is located. So the part of the stomach which is near to the heart, that's why we call it some cardiac stomach. And narrow part, posterior part, we call pyloric stomach. Then this pyloric stomach opens into intestine. Small intestine. Small intestine here divisible into two parts. Duodenum, initial part first, that's a duodenum, and then ileum. In case of human, one second middle part that we call jejunum. So in case of human, three parts of small intestine, duodenum, jejunum, ileum. But in frog, this jejunum part is absent. Only duodenum and ileum is present. So here, that's the duodenum portion. And this folds we call, this is the ileum part. And after that, the large intestine start. Large intestine in the form of rectum. That rectum opens into chamber we call cloaca, and that open outside as a cloacal aperture. This is the entire pathway for the alimentary canal of frog. One more time. Frog, first terminal mouth position, mouth that leads to here the upper and lower jaw is there, mouth opening, right? And then it leads to short, narrow, muscular, tubular esophagus. After esophagus, then stomach, cardiac and pyloric, then small intestine, duodenum, ileum, then large intestine, here represent as a rectum, and then it opens into cloaca and then cloacal aperture. Now, next, stomach region. In the stomach, digestion starts over here in the stomach. In the stomach, the digestive glands are there that we call gastric glands. Digestive glands are known as gastric glands that secrete gastric juice. Gastric juice meaning what over here? In that water content is there, salts are there, buffers are there, enzymes are present, dilute HCl is present. Together, okay, different cells of the gastric gland secrete different kind of product, different kind of chemical, and together we call it's a gastric juice. So in this gastric juice, one of the example that dilute HCl is present. Second, 10 standard, you have learned this pepsin enzyme. One of the enzyme that is present in the gastric juice, that's a pepsin, which helps in protein digestion. So digestion of food takes place by the action of this HCl, and gastric juice is secreted from the walls of stomach where these gastric glands are present, right? In stomach, due to the presence of this dilute HCl, which acts on the food particles and form in stomach, the food is formed which is a partially digested. Food here, that's a partially digested, and that is acidic in nature also due to that dilute HCl. So partially digested acidic food, for that we use the term chyme. Remember, this word is very, very important. Chyme meaning partially digested acidic food, we called chyme. And now this partially digested acidic food that enter into small intestine. Now, small intestine over here, just imagine that acidic food when comes to that small intestine. So if due to the acidic condition, the wall of the intestine may get damaged. So to protect from this, here one of the duct is open that we call hepatopancreatic duct. How this duct is formed, what is the role of this duct, what kind of chemicals are secreted by this duct, that we will see. right? So first we have learned about the stomach, two parts cardiac and pyloric. Next, in that gastric glands are there which secrete gastric juice. In that different chemicals, dilute HCl, enzymes are there which helps in digestion of the food. And partially digested acidic food we call chyme that enter into small intestine. Now, before going into that small intestine, one extra topic that you have to learn, that buccopharyngeal cavity. See, here the frog upper jaw and this is the lower jaw, right? Upper jaw and lower jaw in we can make in this way. This is the upper jaw and this is the lower jaw. One more pic for this. See, this is the upper jaw over here and here the lower jaw. Now, upper jaw has a row of teeth. That teeth we call maxillary teeth. Okay, here this type of structures are present, serrated structures, and these serrated structures we call teeth. And these teeth are known as maxillary teeth, which are present in buccopharyngeal chamber, particularly associated with the upper jaw. This teeth helps in to cut the prey which feeds by this frog. So it helps in to make the small pieces of the food. Next, one more type of teeth are present that we call vomerine teeth. That we call vomerine teeth. Over here, these two are known as a vomerine teeth. Next, on the head region, okay, on the head region, that you know that the bulgy eyeballs are present. So that bulgy eyeballs depressions, okay, or impressions, I can say, they are present over here. Next, after that, with the lower jaw, a bilobed long coiled tongue is present. With the lower jaw, bilobed. See, our tongue is unilobe, single lobe, but here bilobed condition is there. Bilobed tongue, which is long and coiled. Next, in case of human, when you see the tongue towards the lip, that is the anterior part of the tongue, and towards the neck, posterior part of the tongue. So in case of human, anterior side of the tongue is free and posterior is attached. But in the frog, the condition is exactly opposite. Anterior side is attached and posterior side is free. Right? Anterior side is attached and posterior side is free in case of frog. See this picture, right? Here the anterior side of tongue and here the posterior. Anterior is a fixed one. Posterior, actually the tongue position like this, original, right? Whenever the frog see that moving insect, which is the mainly prey, right, for this frog. So this bilobe tongue, coiled long bilobe tongue, that come outside, capture the insect, tongue fold, and again come back to that original position. Right? Frog का fact है that frog capture moving insect, not the static one, but the which one? Moving insect or moving prey. Frog has this ability. So to capture this, and tongue is too much slimy, sticky. So easily when this tongue come outside, the insect that stick with that is captured by the tongue and then take it inside. Once it take it inside, upper jaw and lower jaw get closed. In upper jaw, you know that the maxillary teeth are there now. This maxillary teeth helps in to cut this prey into small, small particles and kill this prey. Right? So this much you have to learn for this buccopharyngeal chamber. In that, one more point, that's the opening of vocal sac with the lower jaw. In case of male frog, only male frog, this opening of vocal sac are there. Okay, opening of vocal sac are there in a lower jaw. Right, through with the sound is coming outside. Upper jaw, lower jaw, upper jaw in that maxillary teeth, vomerine teeth, bulging of eyeball, then lower jaw, opening of vocal sac, and the tongue. This much you have to learn. These are the very important points. Next. Once the food is cut into small, small pieces with the help of that teeth, right? Then it transferred from this buccopharyngeal cavity to esophagus, which is a short, narrow muscular tubular structure in which no digestion. Esophagus only helps in to pass the food, but for no digestion. Next is the stomach, which we have discussed already, that cardiac pyloric in that gastric gland which secrete gastric juice, dilute HCl, pepsin, enzyme and other things are present, which helps in digestion of protein. And by that way, partially digested acidic food is formed, right? Because in food, carbohydrate present, lipid present, proteins are there. So everything, every biomolecules are not over here digested. That's why we use the term partially digested acidic food, and that we call chyme. And now this chyme enter into intestine, where hepatopancreatic duct is open. So now we are going to learn this thing. In frog, basically, that's the accessory glands are present that we call the liver, and other one that is the gallbladder. Same topic, okay, you will learn in chapter number 16, human physiology, digestion in human. Same topic, right? To learn over here. Liver is a lobed organ. In that, see, in liver is actually factory for many thousands of chemical reactions. One of the thing is there, liver produces bile juice. Liver produces bile juice. Bile juice meaning what now? Here in that bile salts are present, bile pigments are present. Bile pigments, particularly two, bilirubin and biliverdin. Remember all this information for NEET. Right? Bile juice, in that bile salts, bile pigments are there. Bile pigments, well known to example bilirubin, biliverdin. Next. So this bile juice, first function that it helps in lipid digestion. So fat emulsification. It helps in fat emulsification. And one more point, it provides alkalinity. It provides alkalinity. Right? Remember this too. Bile juices. In this bile juice, the bile that helps in fat emulsification, and second point, that's it provides alkalinity. Now, hepatic, from the liver, the duct arises, small duct arises, we called hepatic duct. This hepatic duct, okay, some of the duct enter over here into gallbladder. With the liver, one more organ is associated, that's the gallbladder. But remember, gallbladder is not an accessory digestive gland, it's a just storage organ. It's a storage organ, not an accessory digestive gland. Accessory digestive gland is liver, right? So whatever the bile juices is formed over here into the liver, that first pour into this gallbladder. So from the liver, the duct arise that we call hepatic duct, right? Some of the duct enter into this gallbladder, so gallbladder filled with this bile juice. Next, so here one of the duct is there that we call hepatic duct, in which bile juice is there. Next, from the gallbladder, one more duct is arised that we call cystic duct. From the gallbladder, the duct arise we call cystic duct. And when they both join to each other, that we call common bile duct. That we called common bile duct. Right? Hepatic duct plus cystic duct both join with each other and form a common bile duct. Common bile duct, see hepatic duct that carries what? Bile juice. Cystic duct में भी क्या है? Bile juice. So common bile duct में भी क्या है? Bile juice. Right? Now, this common bile duct when runs posteriorly, this is the common bile duct which runs posteriorly. So over here, one more accessory digestive gland is there, which is a leaf-like structure, which has a leaf-like structure. We call it's a pancreas. Pancreas. So here, suppose pancreas is present, right? From which the duct arise, we call pancreatic duct. Here, common bile duct is there. So common bile duct and pancreatic duct join to each other and form hepatopancreatic duct, which opens into the duodenum part. Here, suppose pyloric part of stomach complete, then duodenum starts. So exactly at this position, this hepatopancreatic duct open, right? So common bile duct plus pancreatic duct both form together hepatopancreatic duct. Now, hepatopancreatic duct carries what? See, pancreatic इसमें common bile duct है which carry bile juice. Pancreatic duct, in that it carries pancreatic juice. Pancreatic juice contains different kinds of enzymes. You know, pancreas, we have learned it behaves as a both exocrine as well as endocrine gland. Exocrine part of pancreas secrete enzymes, and these enzymes helps in digestion of carbohydrates and protein. Bile juice coming that helps in fat emulsification, digestion of fat, right? So this hepatopancreatic duct open over here in the duodenum part, and imagine that here this is the stomach, pyloric part of stomach, duodenum part is the intestine. From the stomach, partially digested acidic food comes, and exactly at this point, this hepatopancreatic duct open, in which bile juice is there, and this bile juice provides what? Alkalinity. So acidic food when comes to the intestine, due to the bile juice present over here, alkalinity is there, and acid plus alkaline, it neutralizes the food, right? So acidic food, when it comes to the intestine, it will not damage to the intestinal wall due to the presence of bile juice, which is secreted by liver, right? Coming back to that digestive system diagram. So here that hepatopancreatic duct is open now, in which the enzymes are present which helps in carbohydrate digestion, protein digestion, lipid digestion, right? Here the digestion start and even completed also into the small intestine. In small intestine, inner wall, okay, when we see the structure, so inner wall has finger-like projections, and that we call villi, and on which the microvilli are also present. Suppose these are the villi, right? On which further that's the foldings are there that we call microvilli. So villi and microvilli are present in the intestine, which helps in absorption of digested foods, which increases the surface area for absorption of more and more digested food. So in the intestine, digestion process as well as absorption process is completed in small intestine. Then in large intestine, that's the rectum is there. So whatever undigested food is there, that now coming to this rectum, then enter into cloaca, and which opens outside through cloacal aperture. So this much you have to learn for digestive system of frog. Now, one thing over here, that is digestive system of frog. In your book given this liver and pancreas, right, as a digestive accessory glands. Remember, gallbladder is not a digestive accessory gland. Only which one? There's two, liver and pancreas. So whenever the food, undigested food that release outside, that phenomenon we call egestion. And when intake of food is there, we call ingestion. Okay. In pancreas secrete enzymes. One of the enzyme, that's the amylase, which helps in digestion of carbohydrate. Another enzyme, trypsin. Pepsin, trypsin common hai, right? Trypsin is secreted by pancreas, so that is present in pancreatic juice. See, accessory digestive gland, आपने कभी भी ये नहीं सुना होगा that the food enter into liver, food enter into this gallbladder, food enter into pancreas. No, but their secretion helps in digestion of food. Food remain into this alimentary canal pathway, never come outside from this alimentary canal pathway, right? But the secretions of these glands, when it goes into an alimentary canal, it helps in digestion of these biomolecules. So this much you have to prepare for digestive system of cockroach. Thank you.